Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dying time is here once again with the badasses of Blood Bowl. We are in the second round of the COVID Cup. This is an elimination tournament. 4 teams enter, 1 team leaves, and then actually 4 teams are entering and 2 teams will leave, and then they'll play a championship game, and only 1 team will leave from that, and the rest will, I don't know, they will be gone. They will be eliminated just like all the rest. We don't know what happens to them. This is Blood Bowl, who knows? But we have Mad Villains versus Amazon Primordials and Greetings Programs versus Cruel and the Gang. Yes, we have 2 games for you today, and we will see which ones will move on and which ones will not. Let's move on to this first game. Our first game is at the grid. Yes, we have cleared all the light cycles in order to have this game of the Greetings Programs versus Cruel and the Gang. We have Greetings Program, the boys and girls in blue. They are facing off against the ladies of Cruel and the Gang. It's one of the Amazon teams. Actually, 2 Amazon teams continued on as one in each of these competitions, which is kind of interesting. So, let's see who gets the ball first. The Goblin is going to announce it to us, and it looks like it's going to be Cruel and the Gang kicking off to the Greetings Programs. Alright, so the game is going to be at a little bit faster speed than we're probably used to. We're just going to see them all get set up. Okay, so Cruel and the Gang get set up all along the line. No, they maybe want to be a little further back. They can't quite decide what they want. And then there's the ball, falls back with in the middle of the backfield. And they're going to try to kick their way through the center. A little bit more towards the right. They go for the ball, they pick it up, and they're going to go towards that center right kind of area. While meanwhile using their they're using their assassin to attack over on the left. Alright. Still continuing to move a bit on the left. This is rather interesting. They are guarding themselves on the middle right, but they seem to be picking away at the left. So, yeah, there we go. We got a whole line there on the left. Let's see how Cruel and the Gang reacts to it. It's interesting, the coach for Greetings Program was the same coach who coached for the Halflings in the last tournament. And they seem to... Oh, Tron is knocked out now. But it's interesting because he seems to have a bit of a strategy that is a bit chess-like. Oh, and now Cruel and the Gang is pushed through, but they haven't gotten through to the actual runner. This is 2 very strategic teams. It's like we're watching a game of chess here. Oh, and Cruel and the Gang gets a turnover. They get kicked down. And it looks like they have a pretty open area there on the left. They're still going to kick many of them in the front. But they're going to utilize their blitz action by smacking somebody in the back of the head. Oh, and then go out running for a pass. Okay, and then they're going to set up, looks like set up a little bit of a line there on the left. And they'll get the runner over there, not fully a line. Okay, so they're going to build a cage instead. A cage with a loose right and a tight left. And now Cruel and the Gang is going to get themselves surrounding. And it looks like they're not going to quite go in after the runner. They are instead going to stay a little bit on the outside and instead just knock them out in various areas. The Dark Elves, they do a lot of damage, but they can be knocked down fairly easily, or at least they can be injured. Oh, but now their assassin, there we go. Yeah, you see, that's the thing with them. You go up against them, you're going to have at least some injured players, if not some dead ones, especially with that assassin loose. You notice that the Cruel and the Gang utilize their blitz action being used against them right now, but their blitz action against that assassin, not even necessarily to get to the runner, but to try to get that assassin out of there. You usually want to do that against Dark Elves. And there is a kick to the face. I've gotten those before. They are not pleasant. Alright, and then there goes the runner into the cage on the last move. That was kind of a daring situation there because they could have gotten hit earlier with something. And it is interesting that, they are using it, but they are not going after the assassin. Instead, they go after that, I forget what she's called, my apologies, but anyway, they did not like that particular one woman, so they used the blitz against her and a foul against her. Now part of the cage is running out, and somebody now who's... Okay, that almost ended their round, and now they're going to try to play it a little more safe. send their runner forward with the cage to get some protection before they do some other things. It's like they were kind of trying to do some other tricky things. Oh! And, yeah, this is exactly what they need to be concerned about, is because they use their reroll, now they get knocked down, it becomes a turnover. And it's the same woman that they were going after. Oh, yeah, there we go. Going after the foul, really trying to take out that one player, but unable to do so. So instead, they use the blitz action on Chrom, getting inside that cage to stop the runner. And more of them taking a run around. Gonna knock one of the players out of there. It's a lot of a brawl way on the opposite side where the ball is not at. So it would be about a time for a commercial break if only we had a sponsor. So anybody want to sponsor us? Go take a look for us on Patreon, or just write to us and say, hey, we want to make a commercial on your show. And put that in the subject line, and I'm sure that's exactly what will get our attention. Especially if you just say, hey, you know, kind of like I do, where I'm not sure what I'm saying. Anyway, all right, so not a full cage around them. They're running forward and keeping some protection on the right from the direction that the Amazons are. It's kind of like that documentary of the Amazon, Keep the Blockage on the Right. Or was it Keep the River on the Right? I don't know. I don't know these things. I watch and then forget. My memory is about an hour long. All right, so here comes the blitz going into the back, and they're going to at least get in there to try to stop the runner, but not a lot of hope with an elf. The elves are pretty agile. He will probably be running around, and he is within range of getting a touchdown. So here we go. And once again, these Dark Elves are very daring. He could just go for the run, but he's like, I'm going to try to do some other things first. There we go. Going to knock the player out of the way. Now there's nothing stopping them from running in. Oh, but he's not going to run in for a touchdown. He is instead going to just run in for cover. This is a really daring team. They're going to just sort of try to tease the Amazons or his Amazonians, and show them, give them some hope, like they can stop them, but instead just run out of time. Oh, and they're going to knock that assassin aside, knock him down. Dagger Rot is stunned, and so he's out for just a little bit of time, but not very much time. And now they're running in front of the runner. Actually, the arrogance of these Dark Elves might cost them for deciding to run out the clock. They are now, and an injury on the field. That injury would not be happening if they had just run in for a touchdown. So now it's going to be a little bit more difficult for them to get in. They have to get rid of more, and it is a turnover. Oh my God! And now the Amazons are right there. Cruel and the gang right in front of him. Oh, so they try to take him down, but he dumps the ball off to, or Flynn dumps the ball off to one of the other players, and now they're going to go in. Oh, and Dumont is injured. They have stopped the ball from going forward, and the ball is now in the capable hands of Cruel and the gang. The greetings programs are getting up. And there's why they were trying to take out that lady, is because she has a couple of attacks there, but she is not able to take them down. The assassin is not able to take them down, and so instead they're just going to go foul somebody. Oh, did you see that kick? That guy, Zeus, is sent off, but he should be going off to the ballet. So since he's got some time off, maybe he can go and train with Baryshnikov or something. All right, with Cruel and the gang continuing to hold on to the ball, maybe they won't be able to get a touchdown, but at least they're keeping it, yes, from their opponents. And so now they have it, and they are going to knock someone out, but they're just going to try to hold on to that and keep them from getting a touchdown as we go into the half. So the game remains scoreless. Cruel and the gang has managed to stop Greetings program from getting that touchdown. So here we are. We have a couple of injured, one fouled, 3 knockouts, and Cruel and the gang is getting their players back. So Cruel and the gang has a little bit more longevity going on into this second half than Greetings programs. Greetings program's getting set up with not many players left, only 6. I wasn't even noticing how many were getting injured. Probably, in the last game they had a number that were injured. It was just like I was saying, they do a lot of damage, but they can take damage pretty easily. So, ball goes to Cruel and the gang. They're not going to pick it up right away. They're instead going to work on this front line. At this particular point, it looks like Cruel and the gang has a really good advantage, because Greetings Programs is really really in the center there. They have all their players there. Cruel and the gang has both flanks open. They really have a chance to go around to either side. Looks like at the moment there, yep. Oh, they can't even pick up the ball. No, still can't. So it is still loose there. They are completely surrounding it, so it's going to be more difficult for the Dark Elves to get to it. But a couple people apparently getting on to play another game here too. We're getting announced for some reason. And moving around, their Greetings Programs going over there to their left. And going to try to stop them. They are using their players very efficiently. However, there's a lot of room over there to the right. If Cruel and the Gang can get the ball and move over that direction, they're going to be doing well. Here comes the blitz. Knocking a player out of the way, and they are rightfully getting the ball and running over to the left. There are not a lot of players who can go and get them there. So they're going to run there for blockage. Cruel and the Gang building their cage. And gonna do some fouling. You guys fouled us, we're gonna foul you. However, they're going to bribe the referee so that they don't get anything, and they're gonna give a lot of blockage to those programs so they don't come after them. They have these nice glowing costumes that you can see them everywhere. Oh! And they stunned one of the players. The assassin came up and stunned one of their players. I'm sure it's probably called something else. I call him an assassin. Deal with it, folks. Alright, turn 11. Moving over there to the left, by the way, you may notice I am not saying their names. That's because these Amazonian women's names are way too hard to pronounce. So, I'm just saying they. And one of them tripped on the field, but with a reroll, managed to get there. They got, and they've built their cage. Looks like they both still have a reroll left. So, and Clue is injured. That is the last thing that excuse me, belched a little bit there. Belch gone wrong. Anyway, that is the last thing that Greetings Programs needs, because they are already low on players. By the way, the drink once again is vodka and Mountain Dew. Yes, keeping the ass in classy. And oh, the Greetings Programs has a trip, but they used their last reroll to get their player up there to stop, not quite the runner, but part of the cage from going forward, which really won't help a lot since the Amazonian women are very good at dodge. However, the assassin going up and knocking away some of the players. I mean, that is the thing they do. You know, it's surprising because the Dark Elves usually, their whole advantage is taking out players in the first half so you don't have them in the second, but yet the Amazons are continuing to have a bunch more. And here comes the run going in. Oh, does not quite go in there. They are, once again, having the arrogance that the Dark Elves did. They apparently did not learn from them. They're just going, well, we'll just build a cage here by the end zone. Try to take off a little bit of time so maybe that the Greetings Programs have more difficulty catching up with them, and we'll give them more coverage. But yet, as you can see, the Elves get away from them. They, they do their blitz action and move in to do everything they can. And yeah, once again, as you can see, this they have learned from their coaching how to put the maximum number of them there to cover the runner, try to keep him away. But Cruel and the Gang is also very good. They utilize theirs, to get rid of the coverage. And here they go in for the touchdown. Alkaya Ainaya, or something like that. Alkaline Battery, I'll call her. Yes, you can say I am a horrible bigot. Find me on Twitter. You'll find my @ symbol there at the guy you beat up on. I mean, that's of course what everybody on Twitter is going to do anyway. So, you know, you're going to hate on people anyway. Just, you know what? Use me as your hate. Oh, here we go. Now we only have, 5 players left on Greetings Program, the Dark Elves. That is quite interesting. They're usually the ones doing damage to others, but damage was done to them. But yeah, the ball went right to their player. So let's see if they can be... I mean, they are very efficient. Their coach has really taught them how to be efficient with their moves. Let's see if they can utilize their efficiency here. The player is just going to stay back and see what happens, see if there's something that they can do. And they got a turnover right at the end there. So it looks like Cruel and the Gang is not going to take the bait and run after the runner. They're just like, well, you gave us these players. We are going to beat them up. Okay, well, we're going to send somebody out there just so you can't stay back there. But we're just going to beat these guys up at the line so that you can't do much with them. And yeah, they sent they're sending a decent number of players up there to cover the runner. But mostly they're just... I'm surprised actually they didn't stay in the faces of these Dark Elves, or Drow as they like. Dagger Rot has been stunned. Alright, because yeah, once you leave an elf open, they just run. But I guess you don't want to be open too close to too many of them, because Dark Elves are sneaky. And just like that one, you saw the Blitz, they kicked her in the face. But the runner tried to slip by and was tripped. They had what do you call it? The Amazonians had spaced themselves well so that you couldn't really slip by them. Tried to anyway, but yeah, they got stopped. And now the ball is loose with only a couple of turns left. They're going to go ahead and still try to pick... Cruel and the gang is still going to try to pick up that ball. They probably won't get in for an end zone or anything. I guess they do have another turn. Oh, they're just going to surround it. There we go, and somebody's going to pick that up, and they're going to try to injure the player. There we go. Foul the one player, not get caught for it. Oh, and Rainland gets knocked unconscious as the Dark Elf jumps up there. They both get knocked unconscious. Oh, no, it was the Dark Elf got knocked unconscious. Just came up there to get one last little spiteful hit. Hit on her from Hell's Heart. He spat at thee. Which would be really bad now in the day of COVID. You know, I mean, if somebody spits on you, hey, that's worse than a knife, dude. So, anyway, alright, so now you have the Cruel and Gang team just sort of standing up to sort of celebrate, because why not? I mean, they're not going to get a touchdown at this point. It's just purely a matter of stopping them from doing some crazy little move. So the Dark Elves are just going to get up and just do something spiteful and get knocked down themselves. And that will end it. 0-1 Cruel and the Gang, so there will be at least one Amazon team in the finals. And now we'll go over to the Meat Grinder, where we have the other game. This is the home field of the Mad Villains. They will be taking on the Amazon Primordials. This is that home team. The Mad Villains will be taking on the Amazon Primordials. This is the other Amazon team I was talking about. We'll see if they're going to have an Amazon versus Amazon championship here. Jeff Bezos would be very proud. Alright, so the Primordials are kicking it off. There is a pitch invasion. Their fans must not like it when they kick it off, because last time there was a pitch invasion when they kicked it off, they apparently have a very rowdy bunch of Karens that support them. Anyway, so... Man, it looks like most of the players on the Mad Villains have been knocked out and stunned. You have a couple of the Primordials down, but it's really kind of bad for them. Okay, so the Mad Villains are going to pick it up, goes for coverage, finds that his players are all knocked down, so the Ghoul pulls back and is just going, hey, I'm going to have to keep some coverage here. Alright, so the Primordials now have it open to them, have an open field to the runner. They're going to run right into them because their fans have helped. They've knocked him back, but he has dodged, so they're not able to take the Ghoul down at the moment. You know, that it must be, you know, at the end of this, if the Primordials win, their MVP really should be their fans. In fact, even if they lose, I think their fans really are their MVP. Alright, back to the Mad Villains. They're going to do what they can. They cannot create a cage right now. It's just kind of a mess for them. So their werewolf is going to knock one of them back, uses Frenzy to get rid of the Amazon that is in the face of the Ghoul. The Ghoul is going to move to the left. Now that they're able to build at least a partial cage while knocking back. It's a lot of damage control. Turn 2 for them truly was damage control. Alright, now the Primordials getting up, moving into position, getting themselves in such a situation so as to block the run. However, they have really kind of run to a place where, oh no, I was about to say they don't have a lot of players, but no, they do actually, and in fact are able to do double lines on the right side of the field. So Mad Villains have to find their way through there. They do have a lot of players. It is a real brawl there. You know, that pitch invasion really caused a lot of problems here at the beginning of this section. However, the Ghoul is run. He's run off to the right side. He has a lot of open field on that side. The Primordials are going to be spending a lot of time just playing catch-up just to be able to run over there and stop them. And then they're going to have to play Mustard. I know that's a bad joke with ketchup, but that's all I can think of right now. Anyway, and he now has a Ghoul right next to him. It's a pair of Ghouls. I'm sure that's got to be something in a card game or something. Alright, so now the Primordials are running over there to get themselves into position. Try to, now that's exactly what I expected. They're going to run themselves into position to try to block the run. Gonna run back there for some inexplicable reason. gonna get themselves placed into the situation, get themselves into their face. I'm not quite sure exactly what they're doing in every situation, but here we go. They are going to get their blitz action, push them back, and kick a zombie in the face. Punk is stunned. I've always wanted to stun a Punk myself. Alright, gonna surround one of their players on the far left. And it's gonna see how the ghouls get out of the situation. Of course, they're gonna start with knocking out somebody way over on the side or knocking them out of the way. Werewolf, get rid of the runner on the back. Just kind of swatted her like a fly. And now they're going to try to push through the front, see how much yardage they can get. The white knocks down one of them and then takes center field. Werewolf gonna... Oh, because it looked like he was going to create a cage, but then decided... Oh, yeah, okay. So he was going to do the back part of it, now he's doing the front right. And the ghoul has gotten into position. It is going to be very difficult for the Primordials to try to break through. Madvillains are very good at creating this blockage and really making it difficult to get through to their runner. But anyway, Primordials are pretty good team. They are going to go ahead and try to get themselves put in position, and they're going to go after that werewolf. They're going to knock him down, knock him back without dodge. That puts her in a position. Oh, but one of them gets kicked in the butt, and it becomes a turnover. I know when I get kicked in the butt, I poop out a turnover myself. All right. So, here we go. Here comes the werewolf coming into position. We are doing the blitz right in someone's face. And with a reroll and a red die, that is the challenge with Frenzy, or it's a risk with a Frenzy. Because you wind up sometimes in these situations where you get the rolls you don't want, or the red dice that work against you. But now, the ghouls, because they just can't make it further in the left, they went over to the right, lost a little bit of yardage. And they're just going to try to count on knocking down the Amazonians. But the Amazons have taken down one of them. Basically, one of them tried to flirt with her, and she just slapped him across the face. He is now down. Primordials are moving in and around them. They're going to go in for the blitz. Go after the runner. And they get a hit. Knock him flat. The ball goes... Methy is stunned. The ball goes falling down. They're going to knock down one of the whites. The ball is open. They run up for the ball. They grab it. It is in the hands of the Primordials. Amazon Primordials with the ball here in this first half. Even though they had kicked it off, they did pull back a little ways. That might have given yardage to the Madvillains. But as long as they can keep it out of their hands, they are now in a position where maybe they can throw it or try to find a way to get down this field. All right, on to the Madvillains. They're going to be knocking around, several of them. It seems like they're kind of distracted with a few things, but now finally one of the zombies comes shambling up. Oh, and one of the wolves goes, werewolves, goes trotting in there. And now once again off to other areas. Oh, and here comes the blitz action. Kind of a risky one because they had to dodge his way out of there. And he's knocked her down. The ball is once again loose. He goes in, and the Wolfman has it. It is in the hands, once again, of the Madvillains within pretty good shot of the end zone. The Primordials are going to go up there. I mean, once again, this entire drive has just been sloppy. And they cannot get him on the blitz action, so they are not going to be able to take the wolf down this turn. So they are going to do their best just to simply get into position and try to stop them. They do have the werewolf surrounded. So, it is going to be quite difficult for them. It's really going to have to go to the Madvillains before we can see what happens. But the Primordials bring in as many reinforcements as they can. Oh my god, they really have that werewolf just surrounded. It is going to be very difficult for the Madvillains to get out of that one. Let's see how they do. Here comes the blitz action to take out one of the... Yeah, in fact, actually, they even pushed the runner back. So they're really having difficulty pushing through. The Primordials have done a great job of stopping them. In fact, there's only 2 turns left. It is going to be so difficult for them to get any yardage on this one. Goes to the Madvillains. Oh, no, went to the Primordials. They tried to take somebody over there, but they lose their turn. They are in good position. They have surrounded them, but they did not get to go after the... They really could have gone after the werewolf, but just did not have that chance. And so Madvillains, with a wonderful situation here, they're running around to the right. The werewolf is running down the field, and he passes it back to his ghoul, who's wide open, runs in for the touchdown! Blunt, he goes in for the touchdown. Madvillains 1, Amazon Primordials 0. Bezos is not happy, although who's kidding themselves? He's very happy because he is protecting his taxes in... although, who's kidding? Although, who am I kidding? He's very happy with his billions of dollars and hiding his tax dollars in another country. Okay, there is not much time left in this half, and they're going to get themselves set up basically for no real action here. I mean, neither team is Skaven, so ball's just going to go there. Somebody's going to throw a rock because they're angry. Any January is knocked out. She's going to just take a nap from all of this and probably come back in the second half. And there, that just sort of sums it up right there. The Primordials are not able to pick up the ball. So we go into the halftime, and the teams go into their locker rooms where their coaches are yelling at them, shouting at them, stomping their faces, feeding them to goats, and all around having a good time. Okay, and we can see the Primordials are going to get one player back, and that's about it. Everybody's going to get back up onto this field, get ready for this second half. And the ball is, of course, going to go to the Amazon Primordials since they kicked it off at the beginning of last half. And it's a high kick, so one of the players is going to get under the ball. It's going to go down into her hands, and she's going to bobble it, and it's going to fall onto the ground. So the Amazons are going to push a little bit there towards the center. They're going to use their blitz action right there in that center. Get the ball, but they can't seem to pick it up. Their hands are slick. There we go. Now with the re-roll, they get it and go to the center. They are not going to commit to either side. They're going to keep the Mad Villains guessing for the moment, but they still build a cage because those Mad Villains have shown themselves to be a little bit faster and trickier than they expected. They're going to bring their passers in on the right and the left, leave them a little open to basically to have the option. All right, now on to the Mad Villains. They're going to send their zombies shambling in there. White going in for a little bit of protection. Basically protecting one flank, knocking them out in the center. Not Don Knotts being stunned. And I'm stunned that Don Knotts is wearing a bikini, but, you know, to each their own. And we're going to have a whole line of it called the Don Knotts bikini. And here comes a blitz action way on the right side. So it looks like, for the most part, the Mad Villain strategy is to wrap around the right and the left to kind of have sort of a cut formation. And the Amazonians, they hand it off. The Primordials, the ball gets handed off, and they're running in. They're way off far to the left. They have gotten past that line, and the Primordial players are going to go up there. They don't have enough movement to block them, but they do have enough to go and try to give coverage. There's one of them that's going to be on the other side, but that's about all they have for going to the other side. So this is a real risk. They're running far to the left. Going to see how far they can get. It's just running past that line, but they're going to count on being able to stop the Mad Villains by simply being in their faces, even if they're on the opposite side. But one of the ghouls is able to go up there and get in her way, and they also have, because of zones of control, the right side blocked. And here comes the blitz right to the side, gonna knock her back, but she has. But he knocks her all the way out with his frenzy. He knocks her all the way into the stands, lets the players take care of her, and the ball goes flying way into their end. And oh my god, the werewolf just runs in and catches it. Those werewolves are extraordinary. They really have the speed, and their frenzy is able to knock them around. Like you just saw, you can still be a couple spaces away from the sideline, and they will just still knock you out of there. That they are just being very, very, very well used by the Mad Villains. But the Primordials are going to do what they can to get that back. They barely had the ball during their half, so they're going to push them back and try to get in there to get that ball back. But they're not going to do it like that with both of them getting a double knockdown. Oh, somebody's playing the Mandalorian theme out there. Anyway, all right, so now Werewolf going off there to the far right. He doesn't have a lot of cover. There we go. And they've been really good at keeping themselves in the cage, making it pretty much impossible to break through and get to the runner. But the Primordials might have some things up their sleeves. We'll have to see if they can do it. They are very dodgy. It is very... Oh, and there is... They are open in the back. And here's where, yeah, they're going to come in after the runner. The blitz action goes at him. Are they going to be able to get that ball back? They do certainly knock him over. The ball goes into their hands. Now the Primordials have recovered the ball, but they don't have a lot of coverage. They're going to try to knock back as many of the Madvillains as they can, or at least give them some sort of form of coverage. And there we go. They build a partial cage. No, there we go. Partial cage. And letting the body of the white be the other one. However, the white can get back up. He's not going to do a blitz action himself. They're going to count on someone else doing it. They're going to get themselves into position. Oh, a shambling zombie is going to get into position. But yeah, actually, there's not really a lot of places where they can slip in. I'm rather surprised. Here comes a blitz action, but they're not using it on the runner. They're instead using it on a member of the cage. And they're going to try to surround the runner. So this may be an Amazon package that does not reach its destination. Not if the Madvillains have anything to do with it. Blunty is dead! Blunty, who got the touchdown, tried to knock somebody down, but apparently knocked his head against them, got a concussion, and has been killed. And now the Primordials are taking advantage, trying to utilize that to their advantage, knocking the werewolves back, knocked the other one down. Their direction is open. They're going to run for it. They cannot get knocked down. Oh, but they trip and fall. They use the reroll, get a little bit further, and they're going. Oh, and they're going to get themselves knocked down. They have gotten a bit further, but they are wide open with not very much coverage. The other ghoul is going to go and try to stop him with his friend Blunty gone, not being able to be resurrected once again. He's out there on his own at the moment, but here comes the werewolves. Those werewolves are all over the place. They knock her down. Ball goes loose once again. They were going to have control of it in their own side of the field, but they don't even need it. They are ahead 1-0. It really is up to the Primordials to try to take possession back. And they're going to start by slapping a zombie in the face. I mean, that is usually where you want to start, is you just slap a zombie in the face. Or slap a zombie in the face, I don't know. Anyway, all right, here comes it is interesting. You can see the Primordials actually are making a little bit of headway. They've gotten up to the ball, but cannot pick it up. They're out of rerolls. If they had been able to pick it up, they would have been able to get to the end zone. The ball is slowly moving. It's most of the time out of their control, but they are making it slowly but surely towards the end zone. And now they're being knocked around like a piñata or a ball in a pinball machine or something. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just broken up because Blunty is dead. Everybody remember Blunty. All right. Oh, and then the other goal gets it. He gets it in the name of Blunty. He has hold of the ball. He's just stuck his hand against the spikes. It's gone through his hand because he is a ghoul. Doesn't really care and just starts running with it. Turn 15 on the Primordials. They are running out. They only have 2 turns left. They need that ball back. They are really going to have to get it back probably this turn if they're going to hope to do anything with it. So they're going to stand up. They're going to get in the way. And here comes the, with the 2 red. They're going to try it, but they do not get the ball back. And they're just going to try to get in their face. They could technically get a touchdown in one turn, but it's going to be very difficult for them. The blitz action did not do what they had hoped. It's looking pretty bad for them. But Madvillains cannot take this for granted. There's still a chance, so they are going to be careful about this. Knocking around the Primordials. Oh, and they take out the one that was right in the face of... Yeah, and the ghoul goes running out there, trying to get away from as many of them as possible, get a little bit of coverage. Zombie, of course, isn't going to get very far, but at the very least, it got far away from the touchdown, so I do not know if any of the Primordials... They might have a chance if they have a throw. Let's see what the Primordials do. Somebody's going to get up and run a little bit, knock one of the zombies out of the way, and go running in there for a bit of coverage. Now they're going to go in one more, and now they're going for the tackle, for the blitz action, and she gets knocked down. Now there is a way to end this that's very appropriate. Madvillains get one more turn where they just attack for spite, but they have won the game. Basically, they're beating up either for spite or out of celebration. I think the celebration is more... Yeah, there we go. Throw one of them to the fans in celebration. Let the fans just have their own kind of celebration. I'm not even going to describe it anymore because then it's going to get really creepy. All right. So let's put us all out of our misery here. Don Knotts has been stunned. The ghoul's going to run forward a little bit. Going to pass it between his legs in a spike of celebration, and there we go. Madvillains wins it 1-0. So the last game is going to be Madvillains versus Cruel in the Gang. It should be rather interesting. All right, and so here are, if anybody wants to look at their stats of this particular game, just get depressed by seeing that. There we go. It is the COVID Cup. We have, as I said, Madvillains have won one of them. Cruel in the Gang won the other. Those will be your champions. The others will be fed to crocodiles. This is our leaderboard at the current moment. Cruel in the Gang is in the lead, followed by Madvillains, who they will be playing in the next game. Greetings Programs is third, Amazon Primordial's fourth, Sleestack is still at fifth, Internet Dates at sixth, Super Cuddle Squad at seventh, and Maximum Ogre Drive at eighth. Well, that's the end of our 2 games. There you can see the COVID Cup tree. It's gone from 8 teams to 4 teams, now to 2. At the end of next game, there will be only 1. Come back next time to see who that is, see who's victorious, who is not, who lives, and who dies. It's all part of the fun at Blood Bowl. So join us next time. In the meantime, be sure to subscribe so that you know when it's coming, and you can watch the rest of our videos, and support us on Patreon. And comment below all your rage and Monday morning quarterbacking, and all your anger about what the players should have done, and how bad the coaches were because they should have done this or that or the other thing. It'll be like Twitter on crack. We'll see you next time, and until then, happy gaming, everybody.